some very dark subplots and some interesting elements being brought in from the comics. This is Invincible Episode 6 Spoilers. Hello everyone, welcome to Invincible Central. My name's MJ, and yes, we are going to be discussing spoilers in this video, so turn off now if you don't want to hear them. So Episode 6, we're hurtling towards the season finale, and it's another brilliant episode. I thought they brought in some really dark elements here, and again, as we've seen in previous episodes, they are enhancing the foundation that is built in the comic, which is absolutely awesome. The episode opens with the introduction of the Reanimen and the Reanimen subplot, and that's a really important subplot in the comics. It's responsible for a panel later in the series, which I absolutely love, and that was a huge surprise, but that makes perfect sense. And the way they introduce it here, as I'll discuss later on in the episode, is absolutely perfect, and you can see the seeds being sown for that. But the way that they've made it, with it being like an animated show, or seeing it in motion, it's a lot more creepy. Like when the victims look down and see their hands and you see blood coming out of them everywhere, or even when William is being like sawed on his arm, absolutely horrendous. Just all of it is really dark and really horrible, and it really sort of gives you, especially with the POV shot from the opening, sort of puts you in their place, how it could happen to anyone. It's just random people being kidnapped, and it's proper scary and horrifying. I think Ezra Miller being cast as D.A. Sinclair, the voice of D.A. Sinclair, worked really well, because he came across really obnoxious and creepy. Not that Ezra Miller is like that in real life, of course. It's just good acting. Well, I've never met him, but yeah, I'm sure he's lovely, probably. And carrying that thread through of sort of traumatising violence, we then catch up with Monster Girl, Black Samson and Mark, or Invincible, after they've been brutalised by the Battle, or Battle Beast more specifically. And we sort of see the horrifying tragedy and consequences of violence. Like, they're all in really bad shape. And I really liked seeing this side of things. Even in Invincible, the comic series, you didn't necessarily see too much of this side of things, at least this early on. You certainly see the ramifications of violence later on. But this felt really in-depth, and it felt really sort of heartfelt. So that was really good. We see Amber's relationship developing with Mark again, which is really good. Again, it's quite fractured and quite frayed. You see this at a few points throughout the episode. So this has very much been a turbulent relationship so far. And yeah, but it's really great to see, because again, it's characterised really well. Moving on to the actual battle with the Reanimen, there is this brilliant moment where William realises who Invincible is, realises that Mark is invincible, and it's done so well. Instantly laughed. It's just such a great example of how this comic book series breaks tropes. You know, how often in superhero movies or comics or whatever do you think surely that person would recognise that person? And of course here it happens. So it's really nice, and it's really breathtaking to see this happen. I forgot to say this when I was filming the video, but I really liked seeing Atom Eve making a difference in a different way for a superhero. This is again another great example of how Invincible steps away from the normal tropes of superhero comics, and it's brilliant to see. We also have a nice scene here between Art Taylor and Debbie, examining Omni-Man's costume, and yeah, it feels a little bit far-fetched with the way that the animated superhero show feels a little bit far-fetched about how they analyse it, and they can tell sort of where the oldest blood was. The oldest blood was on the fist, even though that was probably like 10 seconds older than the rest of it. But in any case, it was a nice scene, and yeah, Debbie has obviously fully realised it now, and she actually confronts Nolan later on in the episode. We also see Omni-Man has followed her, of course, and we see him confronting Art Taylor. Later on in the episode, and again it's another look at Nolan's manipulation and he is just an evil dude. And with 2 episodes left, this is going to reach a real boiling point soon, and I can't wait to see that happen. It's also great to see the Mauler twins again, with the robot plot point being picked up again. Really nice lighting in this scene. I like the sort of glow on the green of the body that they're creating. And again, we're not too sure. Well, comic readers will know why it's all happening, but I like the element of mystery for viewers, where we're not really sure where this is going. Coming towards the actual sort of end battle of the episode, we again see Mark, or Invincible, being overrun and sort of out of his depth, quite literally, with being attempted to be drowned by the Reanimen. It's really great to see. It's great to see that Invincible is very much a rookie superhero. He is struggling in these fights. He gets damaged a lot, and that's actually really good to see, because he is a rookie and he's not coping well. So this is awesome, and just the fight in general was great. As I said earlier, loads of elements of violence that was really sort of horrible to see, and seeing these victims bleeding when they were taking off the metal parts, it was horrible. And then of course the very iconic scene of Mark, or Invincible, punching D.A. Sinclair so hard that his jaw is basically hanging off. That looked really good, and I absolutely loved how Cecil was coming in and basically saying, yeah, we're going to lock him up, but yeah, this tech is impressive though, isn't it? And then Invincible's like, yeah, no, it's sick, to be fair. Like it's gross, like, yeah. And again, it's sowing seeds for stuff down the road, which is great. Very exciting plots. And then in the little stinger teaser sort of scene at the end, we see the Mauler twins getting their insurance policy, and it seems to be digging up Immortal's body. So again, something that we've seen in the comics, and very, very interesting stuff. Again, it's been another brilliant episode of Invincible. With just 2 left, I think they're going to be absolutely out of control. I would assume that the cliffhanger for the next episode is going to be a big confrontation, and then who knows what's going to happen in the finale. Well, I think readers of the comic can certainly guess that there's going to be a big battle in there between some people. So yeah, let me know what you thought of this episode in the comments below, and subscribe if you're new. I'll see you next time. Cheers.